In this sixth video, we're going to take our sheet that we just got through creating in the last video, and we're going to populate it with views. I created this first floor plan view. What I'm going to have you do is create another view, though, and not use that one. So let's create a view for the level 2 finished floor. Now, what I always try to do is create views that are specifically for presentation so that I don't work in them, and then leave these other views as work views. And that way I can change them and whatever, and they don't affect how my view is going to print out. If you get into the habit of coming in and setting a view up and then coming back into it and using it as a work view, you'll find that you occasionally mess the view up, and then you've got to refix it and everything. So anyway, we're going to create a new view. So I'm going to go in here, right click on the view, duplicate and detailing, and it's going to open this up. And so first thing I'm going to do is check it out for things that I need to get rid of. First of all, this property line, I don't want that to show. So I'm going to go in here and hide and view that element. That works. Also, these elevation symbols, I don't want them, so I'm going to hide in view, and I'm going to have them by category so that they'll all four hide at the same time. Okay, so now they're hidden. So we're down to my basic view. Let me turn on my crop view. Okay, and my crop is way too big, so let's bring that in. Crop this down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then I can turn it back off if I want to hide it. I've got my symbols in here for my wall section. This is the wall section that we've been working on, that 13. Wall section 13 right there. 13 frame section 2. I'm going to go ahead. I decided that I'd like to have the symbol on the outside, so I'm just going to click on the little symbol there and reverse so that my section symbol is on the outside rather than on the inside. Not that you need to do that, but that's the way I want it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Everything's in here. This here, I'm going to uncheck the 4.1. We don't need to have that symbol inside our floor plan. We probably don't need to have these second symbol numbers out here, but it doesn't hurt anything, so we'll just leave them. M1 there looks right. Okay, everything looks right. If it doesn't look like this, then you need to fix it. So now that I have that done, I'm going to go and open up my next view that I want to add, and that's my wall section view. So let's go down here, and we'll open up this 13 frame section. Okay, let's open that up. And let's check it out. The first thing we see that might be unique is you'll see these call outs, and I'll talk about them in just a second. But I'm going to check it. I got all my levels turned on that I want on, and all the levels I want turned off. Everything seems to be reading pretty well. Okay, if you've got this all grayed out because of the topology, you may have to find the topology line in here and right click on it and hide it so that you can see your pier and your pier cap. You know, all my lettering seems to all be lined up like I'd like for it to be. Once again, I can fix that later if I want to, but might as well get on top of it. You know, I don't like that particular level line going into my text there, so I'm going to pull it back. And so anyway, it looks good to me. So I'm ready to put this into the sheet 2. The next thing I'm going to do is set up my call outs in my sheet that I had. Let's open this up. So we had the wall section and the floor plan, and then we had 3 call outs. Okay, and in your wall section right now, you should have a call out here and a call out at the bottom. What we need is a center call out. These call outs, this one is called 13.3 slabs. So it's, and what call outs are, they're another scale up of a detail of a wall section. And same thing here, I have this one. This one is called 13.1, the roof. And so let's create 13.2, the floor. And to do that, we're going to go in here to call outs. Okay. And that's going to come up. And then we're just going to draw the little square there. Okay. Try to get the same width as the other one. Not too far. Anyway, I'm probably being too much. So I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to grab this little dot here, and I'm going to swing this around so that it is connected, not at an angle, but just straight onto that one because I have a space right in there. Okay, so once again, probably line that up. Maybe pull this one out. So they're close to the same distance out there. That looks good. That could be pulled in some. Okay, so I've got all my call outs in the wall section. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and populate those two things into my sheet. So we created this sheet in the last video. So I'm going to open that sheet. Okay, so there's my sheet. And then I'm going to go to my floor plans here. And I should have, my copy here. I want to rename that. So I'm going to name that 2-second floor plan. And of course, delete all that other text. That works. And then I'm going to grab it and just drag it over into my sheet. Okay. And it should have the appearance. That's that crop area. Okay. There's a few convenience things I need to show you. Once you have a view in here, you can activate that view, and now you can use that like a window right into the view. So I could add text and do everything in the view. It's the same as having that view open, or very close to the same. Okay. Once I'm finished doing my changes, like if I wanted to move something, then I could do that, and then I can deactivate the view. Unless I activate it, notice I can only deal with the view as a whole. Okay. The other thing is this little title line. Okay. If I click on that title line, okay, I'm going to click out here where nothing's blue. If I click on that title line right now, notice there's no dots at the end of this. I can move that title around. Okay. I can adjust it, move it around. I'm going to leave it kind of right where it is. That looks pretty good. If I click on the view though, notice that the little two dots appear on it. And now I can adjust the length of it, okay? But I have to click on the view. It's kind of tricky. But if I don't click on the view line right here, if I just click on directly on this, now I can actually move it. But if I click on the view and I now try to move that title line, it's just going to move the whole view. I'll show you. See, it just moves the whole view. I'm going to undo that. So anyway, that's a little trick that you need to kind of understand. Of course, using the nudge arrows can help you kind of put that in the right place where you want it. The next thing I want to do is add now my section. So I'm going to come in here and there's my other call out that I did. Let's rename it while I'm thinking about it. So that should have been 13.2 and floor, right? Okay. So we have 13 point, those are our call outs right there, but this is the section I want. So I'm just going to drag it over and do the same thing. Once again, we're going to get that kind of general outline there, and I'm just going to click, place it into place. I want this to be at the same level as this one, so I'm going to grab it and kind of move it until you see that dotted line there. That means it's in line with the other one, so that works. Everything looks pretty good. Okay, I got my 3 call outs here. What I want you to notice is that as soon as I put this into the drawing, that if I go over here to that section, okay, notice now section 2 is in here and it's on page 102. Okay, that's what those 2 spaces represent. So if you look down here, this is called section 2, and of course this is page 102. Okay. So that enables the person who sees this and wants to know where that section is, it tells them where to go to see that section. So now we have the wall section in here. The next thing we're going to do is pull over all our call outs. And so I'm just going to start with the bottom one, 13.3 slab, and I'm going to pull it in here. Okay. Once again, this one, these, let's check, activate view. Okay, this is 1/2 inch. Okay, that's about right. I had you put this in at 1/4 inch. Normally, call outs would be 1 inch, and but your wall sections would be at 1/2 inch. But I didn't want you to print out that big a sheet. If you notice now, we can see this gray right here instead. So if we don't want to see the gray, we're going to have to either hide the topography. Okay, so I'm just going to hide the topography. I could, I don't need street level there, so I'm going to hide in view the street level. I don't need the curb level, so I'm going to hide the curb level. Okay, I'm going to adjust these other 2 levels so that, and pull them out. So I'm just going to let you do that. You should know how to do that by now and should be able to make good decisions about that. So now you don't need to put any text on this. We'll add text later. All I want you to do is pull the call outs in. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull out my other ones. So I'm going to pull in floor here. I'm still in this active view. Okay, so I need to get out, deactivate the view. Now it should let me. That's the reason it wouldn't let me put another view in. Okay, notice there's some axes right here, okay, that are snapping. Okay, what I'm going to do is that should help me align. Notice that aligned with that. Okay, that's actually a new feature. Didn't used to do that. It's a nice new feature. Okay, my text here seems to be in good shape. Okay, I moved that one up a little bit. So this is all along the A line. That looks okay. Might want to pull that level out just a hair. To do that, I got to activate the view and go into the view. Okay, and then pull that out just a hair so it kind of lines up with the other. And it needs to go a little bit more. Good enough. Okay, and so the last thing I'm going to do is pull in the last one, which is the roof. And I'm going to pull that one in. Oh, deactivate the view. And then pull the roof in and line it up. Once again, you'll notice it's snapping to the same center line as the other views. I'm going to drop that in there. Now I'm going to move that up just a little bit. I don't really need that much space up there. I'm going to activate this view and I'm going to change that and pull that in just a little bit. Give me more room, and then deactivate the view and nudge it, select it and nudge it up a little bit so that I have room. I'm going to select and move that into place right underneath the view so it's not in that eye. And so now I've got that view in. Once again, activate view. I'm going to pull these 2 levels out a little bit so they're not in them. Now I'm going to leave the crop boundary. I found in callouts they look a little bit better and it's easier to know where they are. But what I want you to notice, if we deactivate this view, okay, what I want you to notice is that this is called 4102. This is called 3102. And we can go back and fix those numbers, but I'm not going to bother with it right now. And you'll notice this is 4, okay? It needs to be moved up. So I'm going to click on that and move it up here where it's underneath that view, okay? So now it's telling me that, once again, this call out is on page 102 and it's called number 4, okay? So my sheet is ready to go. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to print this out.